God, the weather out here has sucked recently. Whew. It's been raining the entire 3 days that I've been doing the electrolysis on this gas tank. And I'm basically done. Ew, there's a bunch of goo down there. Let's see if it's even still pulling any amperage. It's down a little bit. Still pulling a good bit, but that's good enough for me. We've been doing this for a little over 3 days now. So I'm gonna pull this thing out and I'm gonna clean the entire gas tank. It's too cold for this, and my hair's wet. Clean these up a little bit. Pour vice grip. There we go. Look at the frothiness. Whoa, that literally just started leaking. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We've got a breach. All right, I need to get this gas tank up there so I can clean it. It's full of water. There ain't no way I'm picking that up. I need to get this drain plug out of the bottom. Oh, it's starting to rain more. Oh, it's so cold. Where's the drain plug? Oh, of course the drain plug is at the top. I'm such an idiot. Whoa, it's going down the hill. It's going down the hill. I need a piece of wood. Oh. Piece of wood. Found it. My genius knows no bound. Oh, it's about to, because this is about to dump crap everywhere. Oh. Oh. I can still get to the drain plug. Is that one? Lucy Lucy? Oh. Yeah. It's so nasty. She's coming out pretty good though. Yeah, buddy. All right, so let me talk you through what the AccuSump system's gonna look like. So we have our AccuSump. I bought a valve from Kent. You know, shuts the oil being able to pass through it, you know, on, off. Well, I need a way to move that inside the vehicle. So I bought the cheapest pull cable that I could find on Summit, which is this. Look at the chrome. Yeah! This is gonna allow me to be able to turn this thing on and off. But I've got to get rid of this chrome. I can't handle it. I hate chrome so much. I hate chrome in interiors. I hate chrome in... If it's not from the 50s, get the chrome off of it. It's literally how I think about it. 69 Camaros covered in chrome. Some of my least favorite vehicles on earth. Woo! I kind of really want to see if this will actually turn that valve easily, because I'm kind of worried about it. Don't know why I didn't put that in the middle. I really don't know why I don't just clamp this in the vise. That would be too easy. There we go. All right, check it out. I'm gonna rig this up so I can kind of get an idea of how well this whole idea is gonna work. It's way too long. Way too long. Let's see this. It's right here. Ooh. Don't like that. Can take a little bit of thinking. All right, so one of the tasks that I need to do is I need to build a bracket for the clutch pedal. And I've also got to trim up the brake pedal because it's an automatic brake pedal. So I'm gonna take the pad off there and trim it up. But here's what I'm dealing with. So if you see right there, you can see those two ears that come down off of the pedal. I don't know, I didn't look into the car that I pulled this off of close enough. And I probably could go back to that car. Probably could go back to that car and get what I need, but I'm gonna build a bracket that goes to the roof to brace this thing, because right now it's kind of loose a little bit. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. So I've made these little brackets. Here's the top of them. I'm gonna show you how I assemble them real quick. This is the passenger side. I welded some captive nuts on the bottom of them. I'm not gonna show you my welds because they're so crappy. Passenger side, because the body slopes, is a little bit shorter than that one. This is a plate. Really don't know why I made this other than to make it slightly stronger. We've got the hole slotted so it all can move around a little bit, but then it goes like that. Then it gets bolted. That gets bolted to the clutch pedal assembly, and then I've got captive bolts on the bottom, so I'll probably end up taking these, going through the cowl where I've already drilled holes, straight down into it with a washer on top of it, and that is what's going to hold the clutch in there more secure than it already is. Hopefully that's going to give us a little bit more support, since it's not just supported at the bulkhead now it's actually got a little bit to control the torque of the clutch pedal. All right, I haven't been filming that much. That's because I'm doing my least favorite part about any kind of, well, I wouldn't call it restoration, but I swear every project we have, the gas tank comes and is just thrashed with nastiness. I don't know, here, let me get my flashlight. Oh, it's actually, after the electrolysis, you see that metal down in there? It actually looks pretty good. Even the cup is way over there. I can't really show y'all where the pickup sits. And it has actually got fresh metal under it. So that's pretty good. I was wondering what the pickup might have looked like after I put it in earlier last spring. Oh, I'm totally silhouetted. There we go. I was wondering what the pickup might look like after running it for as much as I did, and this is a sock that I put on it. I modified it to put, I think it's a Subaru, it's a WRX sock that I bought with a Walbro 455 that, I don't know if that's the number, but I bought a Walbro pump for us to start up Dad's LS on the engine stand, thinking I might use it if I was gonna go EFI, but I didn't because I'm going carbureted. But dude, this thing is crunchy and full of crap. So I've gotten the majority of it out with the pressure washer and just running water through it. And the electrolysis definitely did work, because you see this beautiful bare metal? This used to be like straight up just rust. It actually looks really good now. So hoping I can get the rest of the junk out of there so we can keep our sock clean in the next set. So I'm gonna keep pressure washing and getting after it.
I have returned, my master. The black water now runs clear.
I'm happy with that. I'm gonna let that circulate a little bit, move it around, shake it, and kind of running it down there, but the pressure washer's done all it can, so. All right, so Dad welded together 2 1-inch wrenches for me, and did a pretty good job. It's pretty nice, pretty nice. The only reason we welded 2 together is because we need the thickness. The thickness. So you see those 2 fittings right there? They're really close together, and they have to be because of the oil galleries where they are, which means a normal adjustable wrench or an AN wrench does not fit in between them very well. So we need to make something that fits over it and can make enough contact to not roll the edges, which I've already rolled the edge on this one a little bit. So that's why we have this right here. We have these 2 welded together. They're 1 inch, and we cut them off so that we could make them short enough for what we need to do, and so they would lay together a little bit easier. And Dad put a little washer in it so we can hang it up when we're done with it. But if you see this little red piece right here, I need to grind this down so that it'll fit into where we need it, because I need to be able to put it in there and for it to slide in there a little bit farther. It goes a little ways, but I'm still afraid of it kind of rounding the edges off. You see that right there? Yeah. Need to get that situated. My arms got tired because I was kind of hunched up with this, so I had to give myself some blocks to stand up on. Well, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna dress it a little bit, and then we'll go try it out on the motor. Here we go. All right, so this is the gap I'm working with. Look at that. Clears it perfectly. So we can flip it over. Use it there. Or we can come over here. Use it here. Just like so. We can give those a yank. I've already tested them a little bit. The jokers are tight now. That actually officially means this motor could be started up right now if it had fuel and if I had oil in it and the fresh spark plugs and everything else that actually goes on there. But that'll be another day or 2, maybe a week. We'll see. Look at that. That's all I need right there. Perfection. Ooh, that looks pretty good, dude.
Tilted it down and forward a little bit because
Yeah.
that's
Give
kind
more
of,
race car.
That's kind of where you spend a lot of time in first gear.
I don't know. This one's got a granny first gear. It's got like a 326, and then it goes to a 2. It's a pretty big drop from first to second. It's almost a granny gear. Billy. Yeah, I like that, dude.
You know, as soon as I figure out, I still want to trim. This is this mark is right here. This is too wide. I need to.
Oh, you want to cut that back?
I need to cut that back. Probably cut that back to make it even.
Yeah.
It doesn't look quite square, and I'm not sure what we're going to do up here. Maybe bend that down. I don't know, but
Yeah.
we'll figure that out before we stick it up through. And
That gives us a good base to put the freaking shifter boot onto.
yeah. once you get the 2 plug welds.
That gets welded. Beautiful fit.
Then that fits in like that.
Precision.
Goes in flush in here.
Yep. Oh, it's perfect.
Then you weld that
You
all
weld it all the way around.
Then if you want to, you still put the...
Why don't you fill that with weld too?
No, let's not.
Check it out, guys. Top mount is done. I'm gonna put a little stud through there and then a little bracket. She ain't moving. What we've been doing, the Elder Guru has been getting stuff done during the weeknights. He's gone through and he started welding up these seams because this thing's just spot welded together in a couple of places. So he's going through and making it a little bit stronger. He finished boxing all of this stuff in for the oil pan clearance that we did. He even went back and where he had hit with the grinder, he filled them in with weld and then ground them back down. So he called it hackery, and I was like, dude, for the stuff that you're doing, I mean, that's not hackery right there. It's not hackery at all. All right, guys, so my next dilemma is how do I control the valve that's on my AccuSump? Now, I could just leave it open, but I don't like that. I want to be able to open and close it so I can, if the thing sits for, you know, like a week or two, I can be super anal about it and, you know, pressurize my oil system before I fire it up, which is really cool with these things. So the valve's right here, and I need to get it into the cabin through there somewhere. But the thing is there's a lot of crap that goes right there with the AC system, and eventually I want this car to have AC. It's not gonna happen anytime soon, probably within the next year and a half, it probably won't, 2 years, I don't even know. But I need to figure out how that I can actuate the valve with my shifter cable that I bought to go into there so that I can access it with a handle or something like that. So I'm gonna reassemble or mock up the AC system so I can figure out where I need to drill a hole so I can run my lines through it. So let's go see if we can find out. Check this out though, look at how nice. I will say a lot of this, the ideas that came for the mounting for this came from the Elder Guru, and he's trying to train me up in the way that I should go as far as making brackets, because a lot of the ideas I came up with were a little too visible in his professional opinion, which he was 100% right. And that just kind of looks like it's just floating right there. It doesn't really look like it's mounted, but dude, this thing is sturdy and it ain't moving. Looks really good. He was pretty proud of me. I did that, you know? Dang, I just love that one right there. That one just makes me feel good. Makes me feel good. I'm slowly but surely becoming somewhat of a fabricator. Making brackets. Y'all want to see something really, really, really funny? So, one thing I don't know what we're going to do is the heater core assembly in here. Because we moved the motor so far back that it's very intrusive, and I didn't want to sacrifice engine placement for like conveniences like a heater core. So I'm gonna hold it up there to kind of get an idea of like where the AC system indexes and everything, so I can figure out where to drill my hole. But just look at this, it's gonna be pretty funny. As you can see, those are the 2 bolts that it mounts on. I'm gonna take these off or the studs I should say. I'm gonna take these off as a joke that I'm actually gonna end up mounting it to it. That's stiff. Bless it. There we go. Oh, it's not even gonna come close to sitting. There it goes. Well, that's actually, yeah. There's absolutely no way that is ever gonna come close to fitting. That's hilarious. Let's try going right here. Nope. I think what I'll end up doing is finding some kind of aftermarket heater core assembly that's smaller than this. Because the AC system in these things is overly complicated because it's like climate control. It's not just, you know, cool or hot air. Like in most conventional systems in cars from the 80s, they had to be fancy. So I'm going to completely X-nay on the Oopidstay with this one. More money. More work. It's always something. Always something there, bud. Always something. From the burnout, if you haven't seen the video, we did the whole adventure with this car was to do an epic burnout. And if you look, right about here is where the flame coming straight out of the turbo was at the firewall. And if you look at the sound deadening, it bubbled it as it got hot. You can kind of tell, I mean, that's from welding and stuff, but it bubbled it like crazy. That's why you take the hood off when you do big burnouts like that if you don't have an exhaust system on your car. Because it will catch things on fire. Let's see if it fits through there. Oh gosh, it's a mess. Perfection. All right, the hole's drilled. I really don't like drilling holes in cars. Any car, even if this one's just a project. But that one actually turned out really good. I'm slowly becoming more confident in my ways. So if you can see, it'll run, I'm gonna route it and manage it so it comes down the rail under the AC line and is kind of happy. As far down as I can make it because I want to mount it under this bracket right here with this OE bracket. And then you see my valve will be right there, and I'm going to try to clock it as best I can to get the full range of motion that I'm going to need. But that right there I think was the best option as far as routing. So, you know what would have made this a lot simpler? The thing about that is if I would have just went bucks up, which I mean I have done a lot of expensive things in this car. If I had gone full bucks up, I would have bought the AccuSump solenoid valve thing that they sell, which is another $300-400 or something like that. I don't even know. It's a good bit of money though, and so I don't want to blow that much more money on something like that I can do with a ball valve and some engineering. So let's see if I can make it happen. Just got to get the valve to work right now. That B&M shifter cable is pretty wicked cool. I like it a lot. Looks very race car. And once you see the handle I'm going to use, it actually is race car. It may or may not be off of a funny car or a part intended for a alcohol funny car. And I've got a metal sliver right in my finger. Oh my, that hurts so bad. Oh, it's so bad. Ew, it's tiny too. Oh. Did I get her? I got it. Ooh, yeah. Let's make sure we got all of it. Yep, got it. Good to go. So it's going along pretty well with the mounting the AccuSump valve assembly that's going to control the turning it on and off. Elder Guru came in and explained to me geometry, basically, is what it is. And since this valve operates at like a 90 degrees, what you need is a throw that doesn't go like 90 to 90. You need one that goes like 45 to 40 from the point of start. So like, here's a good, he drew me a visual that makes sense. So here's a visual. Straight up and down, 45 degree angle basically. Middle of the throws right here. It's like half open. 45 degrees, fully locked, wide open. That motion right there is easier for my arm, for my shifter cable and my arm to make sense of. So he's like, it's when you go like a full 90, it's too far. What you need is this right here. You need is this. don't want boom, 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 boom. I'm really not reducing the throw, I'm just reducing the angle at which it does it. Don't know if that makes sense at all. It still kind of doesn't make sense in my head. I just know it works better, because if not, it would get to like, I would say 68, 70 degrees and it would stop because I couldn't get it past it. And so I'm gonna make some new stops for this so that I know where open and closed are, and that should make this work, hopefully. Minimal effort.
Cool.
Pretty freaking sick.
What's up, guys? So let me tell you about what I got going on here. So I've been coming over here after work, putting in a few hours on the Conquest, and basically what it comes down to is I talked Blaine into letting me paint the engine bay. Why? Because in case you haven't watched our previous videos, this thing's been on fire before, and I couldn't let Dad and Blaine do all the work that they're doing mechanically and from a fabrication standpoint to get this LS in there, and let all that go back into a scuzzy engine bay, because it's been on fire. Like I said, this whole area over here where the turbo like broiled everything over here, it melted the body seam. It basically all but blew a hole through this part of the firewall because the hood was shut, and when he was doing that 1.5-minute long burnout, it was really doing some damage. We had the whole electrical fire, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, so I have been spending time doing prep work on the engine bay, and let me clarify that I am not a pro at this. I've never painted an engine bay, and I'm sure that this is not the most extensive prep job that you could have done, but it's what I have time for, and it's what I also have the patience for. So what I'm about to do is I've got it masked off. You can see I got my fender wells masked off and everything, got plastic over the car, drop cloth down, and we're gonna prime this thing. I'm gonna do obviously shock tower, firewall, shock tower, frame rails, bottom of the frame rails, and I'll do the core support. I'm gonna do the front right here, but I'm gonna stop kind of where the first side of the bracket is for the headlight bucket area. So I'm gonna do that. So that's gonna look good. We'll get some primer on it, we'll let that sit, and then we're going to paint it a very attractive color. So let's get started with it. All right, guys, so here we go. Got my primer on there. Check it out, it's looking good. Not bad, just a light coat and then another fairly heavy coat you'll see in the time lapse. I should have mentioned, Blaine probably talked about earlier in the build, that this frame rail had some pitting on it, so we went through and we treated it with rust encapsulator and all that thing, and it turned out fine. It's a little bit of pitting down here, a little bit over here, but nothing you'll really care about. But yeah, looks pretty good, and I think we will, for tonight, stop right there. We'll shoot some color tomorrow, and you guys will see the color tomorrow. So let me do the YouTube thing and transition. Oh, this looks pretty, really pretty. Yeah.
You want, no, it's too late now, you're good.
right, guys, so check it out. We have laid the color. The color, for those who don't know, kind of plays into what we have going on the LS here. So this is Pontiac Blue Metallic. This is a GM color that we know as Pontiac Bronze. On our 66 Tempest that our grandfather bought brand new, this is the color of that car. So we had some mixed up. We were using it for that car. We did the firewall before we kind of set it aside for this project. And when we were looking at this blue, we were like, ah, the contrast would be amazing. So it's naturally what we had to go with. I've never done an engine bay like that with an actual spray gun. I've used a spray gun, but I've never used it for anything that actually mattered, right? So I think I did pretty good. It's really hard to get the nooks and crannies. You really kind of have to become a contortionist and have good hose management. You kind of learn what works and doesn't. And I'm not saying this is a great job. I'm not an expert by any means, but I think it looks pretty good. And when we go to Cars and Coffee, we're gonna get all the cred.
When we pop that hood, we pop the hood. Yeah.
It's go bam.
Yeah. Bam.
So all the
carbureted LS.
all the nutsos are gonna be like, JDM,
yeah.
But really,
Full Pontiac American.
Full Pontiac
Full
American.
Pontiac.
We just had to go for that contrast. So that light blue metallic is gonna look freaking fire.
John DeLorean Pontiac.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome. So, with that being said, it is time to officially begin reassembly for all intents and purposes. From here, this is as far as the car will ever come apart, at least for this first iteration.
Yep.
So from here on out, we can unmask everything and really start putting everything that Dad and Blaine and myself have been working on to make this thing V8 powered and one heck of a burnout machine.
Right, guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't, follow us on Facebook and Instagram at _speed shop, and go over there and let us know how dumb we are for paint. Yeah, like share, and do this
subscribe.
stuff.
Do it all.
And if you want, comment below on how stupid this color is, and how dumb we are for putting an LS in it. The purity is gone.
We don't know anything about cars. We don't know anything about these conquests.
We can't make 600 horsepower
Dude.
with a Ford. Yeah, you don't know what
you're talking about. If you knew anything about a G54B, you could make 600 wheel easy.
Last time I checked, Ford trucks make 600 wheel horsepower.
Oh, with the right propane.
Yeah, Ford truck. Yeah, with the right propane.
Right.
That's if the G54B stayed in this thing, I would have made it run off propane.
Oh, easy.
That would have been easy. That would have been the YouTube thing to do.
So we will see you guys later.
It's a thumbnail. It's all fake. It's all fake. YouTube is not real.
It's all about the thumbnail.